Hi, so in this video, you're going to learn how to use OpenAI to create your own personalized chatbot and be able to deploy it onto a cloud server or any other interface. So, foremost, you have to import OpenAI, and if your system doesn't have the OpenAI installed already, just type this into your terminal. Since I have this already installed, it's not needed. So you type it into your terminal right here. Then you set your OpenAI API key. And this can be found on the OpenAI website. You have to pay a price for a limit to be able to use it multiple times without any slowing down or anything like that. So the purpose of your bot, my bot is mainly for mental health support, and these are just some features I put down. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Okay, so I was going to use training data set, but since GPT 3.5 is a trained model, it's already predefined. So these are some of the flow I wanted to get down in my chatbot. So moving on, this function is used to interact with the chatbot. So you create a function. Since you are using Python, you define the function. Then this is your response generator. You can get this on the OpenAI website. And you can specify the model, the messages, and all that. And the temperature is just to specify the randomness of your response. If it's higher, it's going to be more random. If it's lower, it's just going to be less random. And before we move on, I'm using the OpenAI's outdated version. The reason was because of implementation. So this is to extract the response from your API. And this is basically how you want the chatbot to run. So the previous one was about the response generation and how you like to get responses from your API. And this one is basically your flow of the chatbot. And the name of my chatbot is Yana. So Yana is going to display a welcome and say hello, what's up? Then this is where your messages are stored. And the conditions I made are placed here where the user input, that's just to get the user's input. Very basic. And if I want the function or the loop to stop, I use this condition. So if the user types in by, the loop responds goodbye. Sorry, the Yana chatbot responds goodbye and the loop breaks. So it comes out. And if none of that is done, you can the so it appends to the message dictionary that I had earlier. This is for context. Since it's a program, it runs in memory. It doesn't remember what may have happened if you exit this program. But because of this append method, whatever you type, it stores it in there. So when you come back, you can do and remember the context of the messages, the context of the conversation, simply put. So this is just to get the response from the function. Then this is what is displayed when it is deployed or it is run. So this is it. So to start the conversation, you call the function, which is this requires basic Python knowledge to run, and reading the guidelines on the OpenAI will also help you into creating your chatbot and deploying it. So I'm going to run this chatbot for a minute, and let me tell you this: I wasn't able to pay for the limits on the API key, so as I'm a student, so okay, so I'm running the file, and like I said, this is the first message that will be displayed. You can see that here. Okay. So sorry. Okay, so I've been given an error, incorrect API key. So I quickly went to the site and got a new secret key. I'll input that now and try this again. Okay, I've inserted my API secret key, so I'll run this again for a second. Okay, so let's try this. I feel sorry. Let's try. Right. So my chatbot has been trained in a way to be empathetic more, and so it tries to reach to our emotions. So when I entered, I feel extremely tired. It says, Yana says, I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling extremely tired. It can be really challenging to go about your day when you're feeling exhausted. Is there anything specific that you think might be contributing to your fatigue? So, so it tries to suggest a way. And so it tries to look at how or why we're feeling that way and how we can go about not feeling that way anymore. So that's basically my Yana chatbot. So it's a supportive system that helps you get through the day. So buy as in the conditions in area, buy to exit. Okay. So it means goodbye. So that's basically how to create a chatbot. It's quite simple if you understand prior knowledge of Python and you also read the OpenAI API guidelines. This can be seen here. So this is the website. This is where to get the keys. If I go back to the platform and how authentication, then this is what you need. This the create chat completion. This is where you get the method and generate your response. So that's it. Moving on. So for deploying, you can either there are a lot of cloud servers that allow for deploying of applications. And the one I was working with was Streamlit. Since it's quite simple and easy to understand, you don't need any in-depth knowledge on programming. So it's you import Streamlit. But if you don't have Streamlit already, you pip install it. So pip install Streamlit. And it's basically like the same application. And this is it. So you run it and it's supposed to show on your website like okay, so this is how it's going to look like. The interface is not anything pretty at the moment since it's still a work in progress. And for another another this is for my Flask server, which I'll connect to my index HTML. So you can simply work on the interface and when you're done you connect it to your Flask server, which is something like this. So for that one to you also import and all the necessary libraries. And sorry about this. This is my old key, so there's nothing to worry about. So you set your OpenAI key, then you set the route where it should go, and for the response, that's the post request. You do all this stuff. You can have your Flag server with templates to make your interface beautiful and more responsive. And for Flags, having just this is not satisfiable in a way, because this is just for product, sorry, for local development. And for product deployment, you need a cloud server like Streamlit or you need GUI and all that stuff. So for Flags, I think Heroku will be the best option. So after having this code, you add your templates, you put it in one file, then you upload to Heroku. There are some steps and processes you go through, so you can check that out. So for the interface, basic HTML, CSS, and a bit of JavaScript is needed. But for Streamlit, you could get a simple one. The interface is not bad to look at, so it's quite okay actually. Okay, thank you very much for this. I hope you learned something today.